Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. I want to talk about something. A friend of mine told me something last week that I have been thinking about. She said she was sitting in a car when someone came in, and that person was a woman, and she started to talk about her friends living abroad, older people, people who have been in United States, England and Canada for over 30 or 40 years. And this is what I found interesting. She said, plenty of them want to come back home, but the reality, they have no roots. But what do we talk about when we say roots? We have to think deep about the word roots. No roots. It means that you don't have anything left in Jamaica. Or some people would say you throw a stone and just leave Jamaica and never come back. But I want you to think about what that sentence is saying. Some of them want to come back to Jamaica, but they can't come back. Not that they forgot us, but they're just not able to come back. And that's a deeper thought. You know, I speak to people consistently about returning to Jamaica, and a lot of them want to come back. Last time I spoke about healthcare and the limitations that they think. And I think we need to still address the healthcare system. But what does it mean you want to come back and you can't come back? We have a saying, foreign is not a bed of roses. And you know what some people say? I wish everyone in Jamaica got the opportunity to come to foreign to work. Because everyone knows, everyone says, foreign is not a bed of roses. But do they understand? But do we say it like we are warning people who have not gone yet? Careful, it's harder in America, England than you can ever think. But I want to talk about the half of that story that has never yet been told. The half that no one talks about. When you see these bright color clothes and these renter cars coming up, pulling up, and they're enjoying themselves, many of them go back to pay credit card bills because the flight themselves, the flight that they took down, was also credited. Because the hardest thing about foreign is not going. Yes, it's not going. It's sustaining yourself. You sleep on a man's couch for a couple of days, then according to some people, they start showing you a bad face. Yes, but a lot of people think that foreign is okay. I interviewed a man several years ago, and he said when he went to England, he thought England was what? The streets were paved with gold. It's not an imagery, is what he said. And that's a lot for people. It becomes a place when you reach foreign that you can't leave. So I want you to stay with me because I want to go deeper. This channel goes to deeper issues that connects us, right? Some will say, yeah, why are you doing this? Because I want to just talk about important things. Things that people don't see on paper, but they say behind closed doors. But I want to start off with the immigrant's life. How many people in the 70s went away? I don't know how they got to the States, but they got. They got there. And I want to ask you a question. The first thing that you enter United States is, you have to ask yourself, what about your papers? No. You can be a hard worker. You can be the best person at what you're doing. But without papers, you're lost. Especially now when we're seeing people are getting deported because they don't have papers. Now, and the line is not moving. As of this year, United States immigration backlog is over 11.6 million people pending their cases. That number has tripled in the last 10 years. So it means a lot of Jamaicans still don't have their papers. But sometimes the papers come at a cost because people can tell you about the situations they have gone through to obtain a green card. I'm not going to even go through that because everyone has their own way of thinking. So let us get this. You're living in a country for 20 years inside a situation that's supposed to have been temporary. Because when you went or when they travel, They say they're going for a little time, and the little time added up. And here's the part that will break your heart. If your status is irregular, meaning that you're illegal, you cannot come home. You cannot come home to a funeral. Not even if your mother or father is sick, you can't. Because if you come back home, you can't go back. And that is an issue for many. So you know what they say? Let me just build what I can build. And hopefully, what they build in Jamaica is worthwhile. That's not freedom. It's a beautiful prison. Palm trees are outside. But you're inside a situation that you can't comprehend. So I want you to sit with me, because I know these situations are uncomfortable, and I want to carry you in a sort of journey today. So you don't arrive at your level. You start at the bottom. And don't get me wrong. I've gone to England and I've studied there, and during my time in England, I was able to move up because I hit all the targets, but I started at the bottom. I moved to United States and had to rebuild my career again, not because I wasn't qualified. I was qualified in a country that was dominantly white individuals at the top, but they saw my value. But now I come to United States, I had to do the same thing. So a teacher becomes a teaching assistant. A nurse becomes something else. Or a healthcare aide. The engineer, he drives. That's the reality of what happens. So when you come to foreign expecting to get that job you had somewhere else, it ain't working. You have to start again, qualify yourself for the system. But what they'll gladly do is accept your experience. Yes, they'll take your experience, give you a bottom line job, and have you do the same job, but you won't get that pay. Or you just won't start at the point. The research is clear. Highly skilled immigrants struggle to work for the jobs that they've been trained for. Credentials, they cost money, and therefore it's a straight up stigma as it relates to foreign earned education. And let me tell you this, although I studied, again, I have to say, studied in England, got my qualifications in England. When I came to United States, my colleagues, one of my colleagues that I was working back with then, questioned if my university, the University of Sheffield, which is in the top 100 university in the world, was a real university. Americans, let me tell you this, in the UK, studies of black Africans and black Caribbean immigrants found first generation immigrants were pushed into low skilled jobs specifically because their qualifications weren't recognized. So you think foreign is a bed of roses? The actual answer is no. So to understand this properly, in plenty of cases, the system decides who you are. And sometimes it's hard to understand. The person didn't fall. The person didn't fail. He was placed by the system that was there. So you're paying two rents. This is what no one talks about. And it's the reason that so many people have nothing after several decades of working in the United States. You work, but you're just paying bills. You're carrying a household in the United States, and you also have a household somewhere else. That's hard, because your people are depending on you in Jamaica to ensure that you are taking care of them, because they don't understand the struggles that you have. You send home remittances and everyone thinks you are living a life of wonder, because you can't tell them otherwise. So let me say, remittances are more than 15% of Jamaica's GDP. 15%. They must respect us, but do they? This is not charity money coming into the country. This is hard-earned money, and the economy is running on it. So I want you to sit with me, because foreign is not a bed of roses. And for the family at home, the money is a lifeline. Back to school, food, roof. So you realize what's happening? If you come back, you might not be able to be in a position to help them. So when you see someone sending a Western Union to you, it's not because they have extra cash. But for the person sending money, in many cases, that's the reason they have no savings. They had to be sending their money home. They have no cushion, no emergency fund because they have to sending back money to Jamaica. And it's getting worse. Now that the US has started to tax US remittances, someone described it as import duty on money diaspora sends home to Jamaica. Florida brought in rules regarding senders to prove that they are not undocumented. You see the problem? The problem is that now they are fearful of even sending money if they are not straight. So they are taxing the lifeline that Jamaica has and squeezing the people who are already stretched the thinnest. So, no roots is not a feeling. It's a law. It's a system. They are realizing that they have to push back harder. Now, let's go back to what the woman said in the car. Because I want you to understand that she was not being poetic. It's the reality of what she was saying. If these people are not able to accumulate wealth, that's a problem. And while you're away for your 20 and 30 years, the land quietly stopped being yours. So the land that you thought was yours disappears. Under Jamaican law, a squatter who occupies land openly for 12 years can get a title through adverse possession. Let that sit in. And the adverse possession rule is now creating problems in Jamaica. After 12 years, the original owner of the title is gone because someone has made that adverse possession. And that's before we even talk about family land. Up to 40% of Jamaica's land passes down informally. No single person holds a title. Every descendant owns a piece of it. So a Jamaican in London or in New York who inherits land has a share in it and can trace and get consent from every co-heir. Some of them overseas and some of them are even dead. So, you see what's happening? We have a problem. Many of the roots that they thought they had is also disconnected. Most people, in order to come back and thinking that they had land when they realize they can't get the land to have a piece of the land, they just give up. Because the land that they thought was family land, they can't connect to it. So when they say they have no roots, they mean the land is captured. They mean the land is not theirs. It means that they can't go back because they hear that squatters are on the land. Now, don't get me wrong. People must take care of their land. But they are sometimes in a position they can't take care of the land because they're sending back their money to others in their family. Some of them want to come back to Jamaica. And there's a conversation about pension. You can get your pension in Jamaica. But what about their health? This one keeps people away from Jamaica at all times. The crime. If I return and move abroad, will my social security follow me? Yes, it will. But the question is, what are the health benefits? I do hope you found this information interesting. And please like, share, and subscribe. These are my critical thoughts.